looks like it started.
UNI is coming off of a historic win. The first playoff win for a Rocket League team in the NECC era. Most notably, the senior, Tonkin, who sealed the deal in Game 4 with an OT goal. Their opponent, USM, is coming off of a Game 5 win against Penn Western, the only team to defeat UNI in the regular season. The stakes keep getting higher, and history continues to be written. Hello, UNI Panther fans and Rocket League fans alike. Welcome to the NECC Central 7 semifinal matchup, where your second-ranked UNI Panthers from Cedar Falls, Iowa, will face off against the number 3 rank University of St. Mary Spire from Leavenworth, Kansas. My name is Hunter. In production is Igneous. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we have an exciting matchup as UNI going 6-1 in the regular season, whereas St. Mary went 5-2. Their losses during the regular season came from Missouri State, which went undefeated in the regular season, and against Arkansas State, which both matchups were 3-1 in favor of the opposing team. So while we are sitting here waiting, go ahead, do exclamation point merch. That'll take you to our Guardian Pro line, where we have a good selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys, where you can rep the Panthers both on and off campus. So go ahead and support UNI Panther Esports and get some merch today. Also looking at the quarterfinal matchups between these two teams, USM defeating in Game 5 the Fighting Scots from Penn Western in a really amazing kind of showdown where the Fighting Scots ended up winning Game 1 4-2. But here we are for this semifinal matchup where UNI will have Tonkin, TJ, and Bikes. For USM, it will be Lavandis, Fish Spirit, and Elise Ajali. And already out the gate with the first 8 seconds done in a way, TJ wicks the exclamation point here. And TJ, who was a big player in the quarterfinal matchup against Middle Tennessee State University, typically he's a late rounder when he comes to his goals. However, he got one right off the gate there, and a nice save by TJ as well. Elisa Jolly gonna go ahead, try and pinch it down, and maybe get some offense going for the Spires. Tries to roll out of that one, passes to Lavandis, with a shot. And Elisa Jolly able to go ahead and get this one scored. So really nice shot from them as Fish Spirit will go ahead and pick up the assist. So we're tied 1-1 with 4:17 left to play in Game 1. Of course, the thing about the semifinal and finals matchup, it is going to be a best of 7. So UNI gonna have to go the distance tonight. I don't believe they played a best of 7 yet. I guess between these 3 players combined, yet in a while. Lavandis will go ahead, have to pass it back over to Fish Spirit. He'll defer as TJ steals that one away. Passes it to Tonkin, but Elisa Jolly will go ahead and steal it away. Bikes with the shot. That's going to be saved by Lavandis. And Elisa Jolly go ahead and try and maintain some pressure. That's one thing that I would like to see from both of these teams, as Tonkin will go ahead and get this in with a really nice pass play here by TJ, passing the two defenders, and Tonkin was right there in the third man back for USM. Not there and quite ready and anticipating for it. So UNI with the 1-goal advantage and looking to continue their process, as Tonkin will take it across mid-pitch. However, Elisa Jolly will steal it away. Hikes to first to TJ. Elisa Jolly to set up the offense left-hand side. 50'd, try to pinch it in the corner. TJ has a nice little block from Fish Spirit, who's got no boost. That's stealen away by TJ. And Elisa Jolly will go ahead, work it from the left corner. Tonkin to steal it away, but Fish Spirit, third man back, will go ahead and clear it center of the pitch. He'll try and take it coast to coast for a double back. Can't, as Bikes will go ahead and steal that one away as well. Lavandis trying to get it past mid-pitch. Fish Spirit, though, trying to pass it over to Lavandis. And UNI gonna take a deep shot, and Elisa Jolly able to go ahead with the save. Saw that one from a mile away. And here comes the Spires. With 1:51 left to play, UNI with a 1-goal advantage. TJ misses the clear. Fish Spirit pinches it out to Elisa Jolly, and a nice defensive sequence for UNI. Bike's gonna be credited with that save, a critical third man back. As Tonkin will again apply the pressure. Double for Bikes with the shot. Can't quite squeeze it in the left-hand corner. And Elisa Jolly will try and clear it out. TJ applying that pressure. And UNI gonna go ahead and maintain pressure here. Tonkin with a full set of boost. He'll do some aerials mid-pitch, tries to point it in. No defender. Flip reset, no can do, and with less than a minute to play, UNI is going to try and keep this at a 1-goal advantage. Bikes to steal it away. TJ will take it across the timeline. He'll pinch it out right. Tonkin trying to set something off here. Elisa Jolly will pass it across the timeline. TJ steal it away from that little pass play. Now 30 seconds left to play, and TJ able to get it the middle of the pitch in, quite frankly, was just a lucky floater. And a mistimed save causes the Spires to go down 2. 29 seconds left to play. And UNI with a 2-goal advantage, but Elisa Jolly gets the double off the kickoff. And USM trying to come back in this one. Elisa Jolly able to get the assist by Lavandis. And kickoff again, 18 seconds left to play. St. Mary down 1. Double for Tonkin, no one to follow it up. And now 10 seconds left to play. UNI trying to play keep away here. However, TJ is going to try and double back with the shot. A little block and a little bit of a goal. TJ able to go ahead and solo this one in. And again, just made one defender miss. Thought he was going to shoot it out left. Shot it in the right side. TJ able to get another goal in his belt early. Usually a late bloomer in these matches. However, TJ able to get it done with a hat trick early. And 1 assist, 1 save as well. Bikes able to get an assist and 3 saves on top of that. A critical third man back as Elisa Jolly. The only 2 goals for this University St. Mary's Spire team. Would be really interested to see how they will answer. As Elisa Jolly, against their quarterfinal matchup against Penn Western, able to get 7 goals. 7 of their total 13. So definitely a very skilled scorer for this USM Gold team. Now I believe we're going to have a car change on the side of UNI. That's why bikes might have left. And of course, the coach, Brewer Dog, might be discussing some things there. But we will see what happens. Also, while we are here, do exclamation point merch. Go to our Guardian Pro line where we have a selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys that you can rep the Panthers on and off campus. So if you want to support UNI Panther Esports, go ahead and get some merch today. UNI going up early with a 1-0 lead in this best of 7 series. Be really interested to see how UNI will continue to put their foot on the gas, as typically game 2 is where they get a little bit too relaxed and make some careless mistakes here. But already Elisa Jolly gonna go ahead and have to get the save right out the gate, as Tonkin will try and apply this pressure. Lavandis trying to clear it out left to right. TJ to try and seal it away. Fish Spirit, though, pinches it for Elisa Jolly. A little bump there. Tonkin to follow it up, as Fish Spirit will go ahead and clear it. And Tonkin with a demo. Maybe that's a part of the game plan here, as normally we see demos come out late for UNI, as TJ gets a nice steal and shot on goal. Elisa Jolly with his second save. TJ trying to pinch it home, can't get it done. And Lavandis gonna go ahead, take it across the pitch. And TJ to intercept the shot by Fish Spirit. They'll joust for it, left-hand side. That's gonna be cleared out by UNI. The Spire's gonna have to think of something defensive here, as Elisa Jolly down on boost. Lavandis taking across the timeline mid-pitch. Tonkin will go ahead, get the save, and try to set up something here on offense. Elisa Jolly misses the play, but Lavandis able to go ahead and get this secured. Bikes will go ahead, try to set it up. Left-hand side, Tonkin takes it across the timeline. He'll get that one stolen away by Fish Spirit. Lavandis going to be credited with the save. He'll try and set up the offense, but TJ with a critical save with a little bicycle back kick. And as we are still scoreless, as I cast or curse it right there, Lavandis able to get this one to go. Draws first for the Spire team with 2:55 left to play. Bikes off the initial kickoff. We'll go ahead, defer it over to Tonkin. They'll try and intercept it. Momentum isn't there. And Lavandis able to go ahead and make it known that this number 3 ranked team will not go silent in game 2. Off the initial kickoff, TJ trying to squeeze it out, set up Bikes. However, Lavandis is going to steal that one away. Bikes tries to take it mid-pitch. However, doesn't have the angle on it. Has to defer to TJ. He passes, but that's stolen away by Elisa Jolly. And Lavandis with the hat trick already, with 2:25 left to play in game 2. And kind of what we've seen normally is that game 2, UNI kind of struggles offensively, and because of that, USM up 3-0. Tonkin trying to set up the offense, and with 2:15 left to play, there is still plenty of time for UNI to come back and score. We've seen them scoring less, and we've seen them score quickly. It's all going to come down to transition offenses and maybe get a couple good pass plays like we saw in game 1. Tonkin tries to 50 Elisa Jolly. However, that's going to take a USM bounce, but TJ will go ahead and steal this one away. TJ with the shot, Tonkin to hammer it in, but can't, as Lavandis with the legwork, getting the save as well. Pinched down by Tonkin's no good. Follow up for TJ just off the left side of the bar. And Lavandis trying to clear it out and away. TJ off the ceiling, working it left to right. Bikes to save it, Fish Spirit to clear it. And again, Fish Spirit will pinch it left side of the pitch. TJ trying to flip reset here. Passes to Tonkin. Lavandis with a full set of boost, able to get that one saved. And 3 goals and 5 saves. Lavandis coming up big in game 2. Typically, I would expect Elisa Jolly to be the one who's carrying this Spires team. But TJ, with 55 seconds left to play, able to get the first goal for UNI late in game 2. So a very big shout out to Lavandis, able to go ahead and get all 3 goals for this St. Mary's squad. And off the initial kickoff, Lavandis gonna go ahead and defer as Elisa Jolly will go ahead and get this goal in. And just a really well-timed play off that 50. And Elisa Jolly just kind of already set up for the little waterfall. And USM gonna go ahead, push it to a 3-goal advantage. 45 seconds left to play in game 2. Of course, this is a best of 7, so UNI will still have to go the distance. Plenty of games left to play, and if you're UNI, you just kind of calm down and reset. We've typically seen them lose at least 1 game in most of their series. Usually that comes in game 2 or game 3, so this is par for course as UNI is trying to get some offense set up here. Bikes with the shot and the goal, right-hand side. And with 15 seconds left to play, UNI is going to have a miracle if they want to come back in this one. But Bikes with a beautiful shot just off the nose of Fish Spirit. UNI, Tonkin with a nice lazy roll, gets demoed for it. Double back from Bikes, no can do. Can he waterfall it in? No. 7 seconds left to play. UNI needs a miracle here as this one shot, and it's good for Fish Spirit, center of the pitch. And thank you, NECC Esports, for going ahead and bringing in the party. Welcome. A very exciting matchup between Central 7 NEC playoff semifinal matchup between St. Mary and UNI. And as this one goes ahead and noses down, the series is tied 1-1. And a big shout out from Lavandis with 3 goals and 5 saves in that one. And UNI trying to come back. Now, for those of you interested and want to support UNI Panther Esports, go ahead, do !merch. That'll take you to our Guardian Pro line where we have a decent selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys where you can rep Panther Esports on and off campus. So go ahead and get some merch today. Now, I think the biggest thing going into Game 3 that UNI is going to have to look for here is to basically come back and hit the stride that they typically do in late games, and it's all going to have to come off of TJ, who is usually UNI's scorer in the late round matches. But we'll see if they can go ahead and do that here. Now, going into game number 3, UNI trying to come back from a 4-2 loss in game 2. And already off the initial kickoff, Fish Spirit gonna have to get the 50. And that takes a USM bounce. And TJ's gonna have to try and play defensive here. It's Fish Spirit takes it left to right. He'll go ahead, work it out and around. TJ to try and maintain the pressure. Tonkin now with a full set of boosts. He'll try and take it off the top of the ceiling. Fish Spirit, though, gonna try and joust him there as a double commit comes out from UNI. Gonna have to fall back from that one as Lavandis gonna go ahead, try to take the shot. However, Bikes is gonna be credited with the save. TJ gonna have to fight against Spirit as well. As Lavandis off the top of the crossbar, no good. Elisa Jolly tries to follow it up, and TJ with a nice save. Just able to get it right past in front of his goal, and Bikes will try and take it coast. Fish Spirit to intercept. Lavandis defers over to Elisa Jolly, and the miss to third man back, no can do. Middle of the pitch, Elisa Jolly draws first in game 3. UNI gonna have to try and bounce back from this one, as we have seen before. When it comes to, at least during the regular season in game 5s, UNI typically edge that one out 2 of the 3 times that we've seen them in game 5. So we have seen a reverse sweep before. However, they're gonna have to get there, as University of St. Mary already up 1. Lavandis gonna get that taken away by Bikes. He'll try and double back for TJ. TJ no can do, didn't quite have the angle on it. And Tonkin with the 50 and the floater, double commit. That's a save by Fish Spirit. Lavandis gonna take it across the timeline. Here come the Spires. Tonkin able to steal it away. However, Elisa Jolly gonna apply the pressure. Lavandis with a full set of boost. Gonna have to defer, and they're just gonna sit back and play their offense. See if they can get something going here, as TJ and Tonkin will go ahead and slow it down. Tonkin tries to pinch it out, no follow it up. TJ will go ahead, take it, pinch it out left. Bikes over to Tonkin. And it's just careful planning here as TJ trying to maintain that pressure, but Elisa Jolly will go ahead and get the clear. He's going to be slide tackled by his own teammate as Lavandis. Going to get this one stealing away. TJ going to work the right-hand side pass to Bikes. That's going to be 50'd and saved by Lavandis. TJ going to go ahead, makes one miss. Fish Spirit, though, going to steal it away. Tonkin pinches it down. He's got a little bit of boost. However, no UNI member there to follow it up. TJ, though, center of the pitch. Can't quite get this one to go. And Tonkin will go ahead and try again. So far, the defense for this Spire squad has been phenomenal. And with 1:31 left to play, UNI trying to find an answer in game 3. Lisa Jolly trying to work the right-hand side. No can do. Bikes passes it through the timeline. Lavandis to steal it away. He'll try and solo it. He's just got TJ. TJ able to get a little flip there and saves it, steals it away, passes it to Bikes. He'll take it across the pitch. Less than a minute to play. Tonkin will go ahead and try and get something going here on offense, but Fish Spirits will go ahead and try and give it to Elisa Jolly, and that could be the dagger. Fish Spirit able to take it in the left-hand side. And Fish Spirit, who normally isn't the one to get the goals for this University St. Mary's team, able to come up big in game 3. UNI staring down big with a 2-0 deficit, 40 seconds left to play. And Elisa Jolly with a nice little aerial floater just to bump that one right out of the way. And UNI gonna have to come in late if they want to come back from this. 30 seconds left to play. TJ's gonna get slide tackled, tries to double back. No follow-up from UNI. Where is the UNI assists? But Tonkin from the left-hand side, able to go ahead and get this one in. UNI now with a 1-goal deficit with 22 seconds left to play in game 3. Off the initial kickoff, no can do. Fish Spirits tries to get the shot, but a nice save by Tonkin. Elisa Jolly's gonna get slide tackled out of the way. Tonkin to follow it up and get the clear. TJ with the shot in the corner, off the top, no good! And UNI's opportunity slowly closing. Tonkin for the double back. TJ to pitch it in. Lavondis is right there for the save. I Ride Bikes with the shot, can't get it to go across the timeline. And USM will go ahead and take game 3. Valiant effort by the Panthers. And it all comes off of that Elisa Jolly kind of early goal in the first half. And Fish Spirit, though, coming up big in game 3 with 1 goal, 1 assist, and 1 save. And oh my goodness, UNI could not get a goal to save their lives, especially in the last 30 seconds. And a devastating one at that. So hopefully UNI can come back late, and let's go ahead and get a Go Cats going in the chat. And hopefully UNI can go ahead and start getting a reverse sweep going. Also, if you're interested in supporting UNI Panther Esports, do exclamation point merch. That'll take you to our Guardian Pro line, where we have a decent selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys, where you can support UNI Panther Esports on and off campus. So go ahead and get some merch today. Out of the reverse sweeps, we have seen UNI before come back from these, looking to see if they can do it here. In game 4, gonna have to have either the senior Tonkin, Bikes, or TJ, the late bloomer, gonna have to come back in this one. And the guys, I was talking with Brewer Dog, the coach, right before today's matchup, and the guys were feeling great. They were joking around, had good vibes, and were really comfortable with today's matchup. And when I asked him if the guys had a shot, he simply replied, "We always have a shot." So UNI gonna have to really focus in and use those good feeling vibes to come back in this one. And already off the initial kickoff with about 1 minute almost done and away in game 4, University of St. Mary tried to get that one in, but here Tonkin trying to take it across the timeline. Lavondis will go ahead and maintain the pressure. Fish Spirit to follow it up. Tonkin misses the little layup, and maybe Bikes able to get that one saved. And USM almost capitalized on Tonkin's mistake. TJ trying to set up the offense now for UNI, trying to get first here. Lavondis gonna be credited with the save. And Tonkin trying to set up some defense, passes it to TJ. They're gonna work it left to right. Elisa Jolly slide tackling UNI player out of the way. And Bikes will try and set it up for TJ. However, that's taken away by Elisa Jolly. Tonkin. Oh, and a nice move there by Elisa Jolly. Kind of went left, meant to go right, and kind of psyched out Bikes. Fish Spirit, though. Gonna go ahead, and Lavandis is gonna be the one who draws first. And a really nice floater kind of pass setup here for USM. And that's the same play that UNI kind of lost to early as well, as that left backboard, and Fish Spirit off the initial kickoff. Again, it's these backboard passes that USM has found to be so successful for this USM team. And because of that, they are at a 2-goal advantage with 2:50 left to play in game 4. I ride Bikes. Gonna go ahead, try and get the initial kickoff and some offensive pressure going for UNI. Tonkin, though, is gonna steal it away. Elisa Jolly, though, trying to get the pinch in, and Lavandis. The pass plays have been so fantastic from the Spire team. And right there, you can kind of see it as TJ was kind of fighting against Elisa Jolly and just pass it to the open man. And I feel like that's what UNI is missing, especially on offense. As we see again, Lavandis pass to Elisa Jolly, tries to double back. TJ gonna try and get some aerials worked over to Tonkin. Bikes has to run back and get that one bumped right out of the way. Has to defer it over to TJ. He'll take it across the timeline. And another thing about it too, as TJ finally able to get this one in, and UNI crawling back from this one with 2:06 left to play in game 4. And that's another thing that UNI maybe might be able to take advantage of from the Spire squad, is the transition offense. Because usually that plagues UNI, but as we see here, Bikes off the initial kickoff, no can do, can't get the double back off the left side. But TJ gonna maintain this pressure. Less than 2 minutes to play in game 4. UNI gonna have to try and get some tempo going if they want to go ahead and potentially get a reverse sweep. Maybe even tie the series. TJ passes over to Bikes. Elisa Jolly's right there. That's gonna be stolen away by TJ. Fish Spirit, though, able to clear it. Bikes to maintain the pressure. He'll go ahead, bump it off the side, and misses the little carom off the side. Can't quite get it to go. Lavandis gonna try and maintain the pressure. Elisa Jolly's gonna get that one bumped out of the way by Tonkin across the timeline for Bikes. Tonkin gonna maintain the pressure. Bikes getting the demo on Lavandis. We haven't seen many demos this series, so maybe that's what UNI needs to do here. 50 with 1 minute left to play. TJ trying to pinch it mid-pitch. However, Lavandis gonna go ahead and maintain the pressure. TJ gonna go ahead, pinch it in, tries to squeeze it in the corner, and Elisa Jolly with enough boost, able to get that one saved. And Lavandis again trying to take it across the timeline. TJ to steal it away, pass it over to Bikes. Elisa Jolly off the right-hand side. Can't quite get that one safe. TJ tries to pinch it in, and he does! TJ, the late bloomer in goals, late in this series, able to go ahead and get this one squeezed in off the top of the crossbar. And sometimes you just got to force it in there. And with 32 seconds left to play, UNI only down a goal. Off the initial kickoff is going to be TJ. 30 seconds left to play. Lavandis trying to maintain the pressure here. Tonkin. Elisa Jolly steals it away. Right-hand side. He'll try to make one miss. He's slide tackled out of the way. Lavandis misses as well as the 50's up in the air off the ceiling. And Fish Spirit's trying to maintain the pressure. 10 seconds remaining. UNI needs to get a goal and a goal quickly. Bikes. Passes over to Tonkin. He misses the little flip reset. And TJ with 1 second left to go. The ball is still in the air. Can't quite get it down. And USM will go ahead and take game 4 in this best of 7 series. And it all comes off of, again, Lavandis. UNI needs to find an answer for Lavandis. And if they don't, UNI might be able to push on. So the winner of today's matchup will have to face against either Arkansas State or the undefeated Missouri State Bears. So going to be interesting to see who's going to win that matchup. Of course, that matchup is going to be a day before the championship due to some scheduling conflicts, whereas it looks like if UNI can... If the loser of this team will have, or excuse me, oh my goodness, let me collect my thoughts. The loser of today's matchup will have to face yes, they'll have to face the loser of the semifinal matchup. So that could either be Arkansas State or Missouri State if Arkansas State wants to go ahead and get the upset. So we're going to have a couple card changes come out for Game 5. Match point is going to be for University of St. Mary, and this is where the reverse sweep may begin for UNI. So if you're cheering on the Panthers, go ahead, do exclamation point Panthers or Go Cats in the chat. UNI really needs your support if they want to continue to the title matchup. Now here we go. Game 5 underway. Off the initial kickoff, Tonkin gonna try and get something going on offense, and UNI strikes first, the first 11 seconds of the game, and a really nice pass play off the initial kickoff for UNI. TJ and Tonkin able to go ahead and get that one secured. So maybe UNI can finally take a deep breath here and relax as they are able to draw first here. However, USM not going to go quietly, as this one just barely goes off the right-hand side of the crossbar. And UNI going to have to play some up-tempo here. Bikes works it right to left. Passes over to Tonkin. He'll take it across the timeline. Elisa Jolly with a full set of boosts, tries to flip reset. He's got one defender. Nice follow-up play from Tonkin, as that one was just about to go in. However, UNI so far showing their mechanics on defense. TJ will go ahead, take it across, but he's going to be demoed by Elisa Jolly. Lavandis is going to be demoed as well. Bikes trying to double back. Off the backboard, can't quite follow it up. TJ with the pinch shot, and it's good! TJ from the left-hand side. And a really amazing play, just catching it off the bounce and able to get this one to go. UNI gonna go ahead and lead it 2-0, 3:50 left to play in Game 5. Hopefully give Tonkin, the senior, a chance at a title matchup. Bike's gonna be slide tackled out of the way. That's gonna be stolen away by Elisa Jolly. TJ, third man back, clears it over, passes to Tonkin, can't quite get the angle on it. That's gonna go into the left-hand corner. Tonkin with no boost, has to fight against Elisa Jolly. Fish Spirit, third man back, able to go ahead and get this one saved. Shot just off, his Bikes will go ahead and nudge it over to Tonkin. Lavandis, left to right, TJ to steal it. Bikes, go ahead, nose it in. And here comes the Spires. TJ going to be credited with that save as Elisa Jolly will try to solo it. Stealing away by Tonkin. And UNI, again, just got to settle in their offense. They're already up 2. They're going to need to play as comfortable as possible. And TJ trying to get the double back and the demolition. Can't quite get the follow-up. Spikes will go ahead and try and take this one off the top. Stolen away by Fish Spirit, and already UNI with the clear. TJ with no boost, able to get a full set. And he's going to have to work back around as Lavandis is going to try and get this offense going for USM. Lisa Jolly makes one miss. Double commit by UNI. Lavandis with the shot and the goal. Nice capitalization on the side of UNI. As you see the double commit there, UNI caught out of position, and Lavandis able to go and get the goal in Game 5. UNI still with a 1-goal advantage, 2:17 left to play. Hopefully they can maintain that spread. As off the initial kickoff, Tonkin trying to flip to reset. Tries to pinch it in with the shot and the follow-up. Tonkin off the kickoff, taking it solo. The senior showing what he can do. A really excellent job by Tonkin there off the initial kickoff, again pushing USM's deficit to 2. Elisa Jolly trying to set some offense here for Spirit. He won't have enough boost as Bikes makes one miss. Fish Spirit has to go back that way by TJ. He's only got one defender in, and TJ able to get this one in. And UNI goals aplenty in Game 5. UNI, maybe that's their win condition, is goals off of transition offenses. And just, if they get the goal early, they have a lot of pressure just kind of relieved for them, because we saw in the earlier matchups, or at least earlier in the games this series, that if UNI goes down early, they make a lot more mistakes, and USM kind of capitalizes off of that, as Tonkin with a nice save. Fish Spirit trying to hammer it in, left-hand corner, no. Just off the mark. Lavandis, who's been critical in pushing this series to 3-1 so far, trying to get something going on offense. TJ with the save, that's gonna work left to right with 1:10 left to play. UNI now at a 3-goal advantage. However, USM will not let up. Bikes able to hammer this one home. Where was this? Games 2 and 3. And with 1:01 left to play, UNI up big. And maybe this is the game that they need to come back in this reverse sweep scenario if they want to go ahead and head into the title matchup. Lavandis goes ahead, defers it to Fish Spirit. He'll take it across the timeline. Tonkin gonna go ahead, trying to work it around. No can do. Gonna go ahead, work it right to left. And Tonkin gonna go ahead and get the demo on Lavandis. I wonder if that was maybe a calling card, as very nice shot from Elisa Jolly. Gonna go ahead, work that hand right-hand side, and he kind of takes it solo. Of course, at this time, Lavandis gonna be demoed, so it was essentially a 1v3. And again, Elisa Jolly showing why they are dangerous in the solos. But UNI, 3-goal advantage with 20 seconds left to play. Tonkin trying to squeeze this one in, but able to go ahead and clear this one out. Fish Spirit can't quite have the angle on it. And TJ Ondis. Tonkin off the top of the crossbar, no can do. And this one's gonna be down as UNI will go ahead and take. Oh, well, maybe. Okay. That ball was a little bit higher in the air, longer than what I expected. I expected that to be a quick nose down, as UNI will go ahead and win game number 5, 8-2. And a big shout out to TJ. Like I mentioned earlier in the series, he is really good in the late game goals. You can see that right there with the hat trick. Also the first time this series where all three members of UNI able to go ahead and get a goal. Also, if you're interested in supporting UNI Panther Esports, go ahead and point merch our line, where we have a decent selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys. So if you want to support UNI Panther Esports on and off campus, go ahead and get some merch today. Game 6, UNI trying to push it the distance. Reverse down 3-1, where M had 3 straight unanswered games. UNI finally coming back since game 1 and did it in quite the fashion too. 5 goals, 3 of them coming from Tonkin. And off the initial kickoff, the ball will go on to UNI's side of the pitch. TJ gonna have to use a lot of his boost. However, he's gonna steal some away. This one's gonna set up for Tonkin. He's gonna try and work it left-hand side. No can do. Elisa Jolly able to steal that one away. Passes it to Fish Spirit. Bikes will try and work it left-hand side. Tries to pinch it down. No can do. TJ trying to get it to Tonkin. And that one's gonna be cleared out by USM. Lavonda's gonna go ahead and get the demo as trying to apply the pressure here early and get the tempo going. Tonkin makes one miss, tries to make the second one miss, and that's gonna be able to save it back. Now it's Bike's turn. That one's gonna get 50'd, pushed hard across the timeline, and here comes the Spires. Slide tackle out for Fish Spirit. Lavondis takes a full set of boost, has to make one miss. He's slide tackled out of the way. Tonkin trying to set up the offense right-hand side. DJ trying to nose it down with the shot. Can it have the angle? No! As Lavondis will go ahead and secure this one. USM and Fish Spirit with the shot. Bikes on it. And you draw first in game 6, looking at the title matchup. Off the initial kickoff, Fish Spirits will go ahead and try and take it. TJ gets the demo on Elisa Jolly. Bikes, Tonkin gets it to go, and we're tied with 3:26 left to play in game 6. And a really nice kind of carom play for and Tonkin right there to secure it. UNI ties it. And I really, again, love to see his plays from UNI on transition. TJ off the kickoff, gonna double back for Tonkin. He'll try and send it home. Elisa Jolly there, able to get the save. He'll try and work it right-hand side. Tonkin, again, off the side of the wall. And UNI gonna have to settle in their offense, but Bike's gonna try and double it. No can do. TJ trying to take it off the ceiling, tries to pinch it in down, makes one defender miss. Where's to Jolly, able to get this one saved. TJ, shot, saved by, Bikes, able to take it from the left-hand side. Elisa Jolly tries to save it right to left and play right into the hands of Bikes. UNI takes the lead, 2:47 left to play in game 6. Trying to push it to a game 7 and the reverse sweep. Of course, UNI being the second-seeded member, technically it's their game to lose, as this one just goes off. Fish Spirit able to get the save. Follow up by Tonkin, no can do. Fish Spirit again with the save. A critical third man back for this USM Spires team. Bikes gonna go ahead, take it across the middle of the pitch. That's gonna be stolen away by Lavandis. Elisa Jolly gonna go ahead, let Lavandis work for it in the right-hand corner. Elisa Jolly gets the clear. Bikes maintaining the pressure. And trying to get the dagger in this one, push it to a game 7 for the title matchup. Bikes take it across the timeline, right corner. And Elisa Jolly will go ahead and defer. Tonkin maintaining the pressure. Double back follow-up for Bikes. Cleared out by Fish Spirits. And the pace definitely slowing down in this one. Tonkin making one miss. It's going to be a scramble middle of the pitch. That's going to be 50'd. Elisa Jolly to take it. He to pinch it out. Ball going to try to go in. No! As Bikes, with a little bit of luck, able to get that one saved. And UNI almost getting it tied. Like maintaining that pressure. Tries to pinch it out. Right corner. Tonkin with a full set of boosts. Tries to bump it back. Bikes and TJ there for the clear. Now Bikes will go ahead, defer it to TJ. He'll take it across the timeline as he does not have boost. With less than 1 minute remaining, UNI trying to push it to a game 7. Tonkin over to Bikes. Shot is good! Dagger for Bikes, and UNI takes it to a 2-goal advantage. And a really nice pass play, exactly what we've seen from UNI in games 2 and 3. Really good pass plays for UNI late in game 6. Off the initial kickoff, Tonkin will go ahead and get it cleared. Take it across the mid of the pitch. Elisa Jolly missing that one. Fish Spirits doesn't quite get the angle on it as well. And with 35 seconds left to play, still UNI has to maintain pressure. We've seen Lavandis score big in game 2. Try to see if UNI can follow it up here. Double back off the top of the crossbar, and finally, TJ able to go ahead and get this one scored. And a really valiant effort by Elisa Jolly trying to get the clear. But I believe that USM defender kind of came screeching in, trying to get the save, bumped Elisa Jolly out of the way and couldn't quite get the save to clear. And now UNI with a 3-goal advantage, 10 seconds left to go, and we might be staring at a game 7 title on the line, or I guess a title matchup on the line, as this ball will go ahead and be still floated in the air. However, UNI will go ahead and pinch it down, and UNI back in this one. We're going to a game 7. Now, a hat trick. Really amazing job by this UNI team, able to battle back, and maybe, just maybe, for the first time in UNI Rocket League history, not only do they off win, but they could be also potentially playing for their first playoff title, for their first division title, if they can only last another 5 minutes. Again, for those interested in supporting UNI Panther Esports, go ahead, do ! merch. That'll take you to our Guardian Pro line, where we have a decent selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys, where you can support UNI Panther Esports on and off campus. So go ahead and get some merch today. UNI struck first in game 1, then in quick succession, games 2, 3, and 4, all going to USM. UNI bouncing back in game 5 and game 6. It all comes down to this: a title matchup on the line. Who will face either, oh no, off the kickoff, and up, set this up, man. But off the initial kickoff, only 1 second done and away. Fish Spirit able to get a beautiful kickoff goal. So UNI gonna have to battle back early, but at this point, you know, just kind of scrub it off. You know, don't be too cheeky about it, as Tonkin will go ahead and try and steal this one away. He's got one defender to miss. Lavandis is right there. TJ to follow it up. And in the first 7 seconds, we are tied. It's like we haven't even played the game yet. And UNI able to go ahead and tie it up with 4:53 left to play in Game 7. Off the initial kickoff, Tonkin to go ahead and make this one pass. Elisa Jolly gonna try and get something going here. Double back shot, floater is good for Elisa Jolly. And this is the exact play that we've seen used time and time again by this USM team to defeat UNI. And just a beautifully well-placed shot by Elisa Jolly. Panthers off the initial kickoff. Bikes will go ahead, defer it. However, Lavandis will go ahead and get that one shot on goal. It's going to be just off. Elisa Jolly again applying that pressure. UNI kind of doubling up. And that means all this boost is going to be available to USM and the Spires if they want it. TJ, shot is good for Lavandis. And UNI now staring down a 2-goal deficit with 4:16 left to play. And again, it's just these pass plays, and UNI is probably getting really tight, really tense right now. Kind of had a double commit there in the goal, as normally that's not what you want to see, especially with how good some of these pass plays need to be to get past this ironclad USM defense. Tonkin gonna go ahead, try and set something up, but Fish Spirit able to get this one to go, and now the answer in USM's court. Essentially 3 unanswered goals, and we've only played about a minute of Rocket League, a minute and 6 seconds if you want to be exact. UNI gonna have to try and crawl themselves out of this deficit. However, the loser of today's matchup will get to still play for a podium spot, either Missouri State or Arkansas State, depending on who loses that matchup a day before the title matchup. And one thing that I would really like to see here is UNI, again, just with the transition offenses, get the pass plays, get the boost stealing. Lavandis able to go ahead and get a demo. So that's one thing that I'm going to be really looking forward here for the remainder of today's game, is UNI just kind of set in their offense. Which, now that they're down kind of big, it's just kind of like a really tense moment. And UNI, again, not getting the boost, and just going to have to try and make something happen here on offense. TJ going to go ahead, take it across the center of the pitch, over to Tonkin. He'll defer over to Bikes, who doesn't have a full set of boost, and Lavandis is just kind of sitting there waiting, being like, what are they going to do? And Tonkin will go ahead and pinch it over, and UNI still needs to have some fight in them. TJ trying to get the shot, and this missed clear by TJ. Elisa Jolly able to go ahead and execute on that. So 4 goals is now the deficit that UNI finds themselves in. USM looking for the upset here. TJ will go ahead off the with a little bit of boost, tries to work it out left to right, passes to Tonkin. He'll go ahead, pinch it down over to TJ. Bikes with the follow-up, can't get the follow-up, and it's going to be Elisa Jolly who's going to try and take it solo. Stolen away by Tonkin. And Fish Spirit now just trying to be all disruptive, as we've seen a lot come out from this USM team. And maybe this is their game plan now, being up 4 goals. Less than 2 minutes to play. UNI gonna need to start making some goals and quickly. Fucking with the little floater, able to get this one in and begins to scratch away at this towering deficit. Now we just need about 3 of those in the next 2. 5-2 so far in favor of USM in a title matchup on the line. TJ gonna have to pinch it out, tries to punch it in. Lavandis takes the boost and the ball away from UNI. Lavandis will go ahead, try and work it across the timeline. He'll go ahead, pinch it over to the left side corner. Try to set up something for USM. Fish Spirit gonna go ahead and defers. Tonkin's gonna go ahead and get that one stolen away. Lavandis with the full set of boost. TJ gets the 50, tries to follow it up with Tonkin. TJ trying to have to race back now with the shot on goal and a very nice, well-timed save. And now with less than 1 minute to play, 3 goals UNI has to make if they want to go ahead and come back in this one. And the window of opportunity is slowly closing. UNI, again, still should be very proud of themselves for not only their regular season going 6-1, as Vikes will get this one to save, almost extended the deficit, and now here comes the off to the races. 30 seconds remaining. Fish Spirits trying to maintain the offensive pressure. And I believe it just has to come down to whoever drew first usually had the advantage, kind of allowed themselves to go ahead and get this one to go, as TJ will go ahead and with 12 seconds left to play, now we're at a 2-goal deficit. So kind of what USM did out the gate, we're gonna need a kickoff goal and then another goal if they want to go ahead and tie it. But again, it just whoever drew first was able to get more comfortable in their set, as Lavandis will go ahead, get the 50. Ball will go ahead and be punched down into the corner, as the ball will still be up in the air. And USM will go ahead and head to the final matchup against either Missouri State or Arkansas State. And UNI, unfortunately, loses today's matchup, or to very valiant effort. Of course, they pushed it to a Game 7, which they should be very proud of. And that's the one thing that I'm going to be looking forward to, is the vengeance going into the bronze matchup for UNI. And just maybe they'll at least be able to place a podium. Now, for those of you interested, go ahead, do ! merch. That'll take you to our Guardian Pro line, where we have a decent selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and full jerseys, where you can rep UNI Panther Esports on and off campus. So go ahead and get some merch today. So GG's in the chat. Of course, UNI should still be pretty proud of what they have been able to, actually Tonkin, able to go ahead and, who's the senior, going to go ahead and graduate. And still, you got your first postseason win and almost got an undefeated season. Really proud of UNI if you're Tonkin and if you're TJ. I'm really looking forward to see what this team can do in the future. However, we still have one more match to play, and that's going to be on April 10th. So far right now, it's scheduled for 8:30. We'll see if that stays true or not, depending on scheduling. However, we probably won't know until literally the day before the match is supposed to be played. Missouri and Arkansas State. Here. Well, we might actually get an interview. So we will have an interview coming up, of course, here out So if you got any questions for players or our coach, go ahead and put them in the chat. Would love to relay it to you, or relay your questions to whoever would like to. Also, a big shout out to NECC for going ahead and getting the raid going with 18 viewers. I know a lot of you stuck around, so I appreciate all of you who were able to join us for today's semifinal matchup. Joining us is going to be the senior Tonkin. Tough one today, man, but kind of tell me how you feel and walk us through what kind of happened.
I mean, obviously a little disappointed, but like, I don't know. I'm happy. Like, I'm pretty chill. I'm happy with the season we've had so far. Obviously, I'd like to be playing for first, but we get the opportunity to play for third. The season could have gotten a lot worse, and we could have not been in this position. It's just tough, but I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we gave ourselves a chance, didn't pull through, but that's just how the game goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult, especially in these long kind of games. However, you did battle back, and I know one thing that you mentioned in prior interviews is that you know, it's the resilience, it's battling back against adversity and kind of having adaptability. So, did that kind of play a little bit heavy as you guys were kind of playing in today's matchup?
Yeah, I mean, we went down, what, 1-3? Like, we could have just been like, all right, we're good, whatever, and lost that game 5, or, yeah, game 5, and then been done. But, like, I mean, we played really well in game 5, game 6, and, we didn't play that well in game 7, and that's just how it goes. You're gonna have good games, you're gonna have bad games. The fact that we're even in a game 7 after being down 1-3, like, I'm proud of that. Like I said earlier, like, obviously I would have liked to win, but that's the way it goes. Like, you can, it's up to you to make those chances for yourselves and pull through on them, and we didn't, but we got ourselves to that opportunity, and it could have gone either way.
Yeah. Can you, of course, you're going to be graduating on and kind of moving on, kind of leaving TJ and TJ and Bikes. Do you have any good things to say about those two players, as you kind of graduate?
Yeah, I think they're amazing people, first of all. Like, apart from being players, like, they're really fun to be around, really reliable, just really good people. It never felt like I was like, oh, I have to play Rocket League. You know what I mean? Well, apart from having to play the game sometimes. But I was excited to, like, go practice and play and talk about the game and go play games. Like, it was really nice to. I mean, I've kind of always had that environment with, like, all my teammates, so, like, I guess it's not really any different. But, like, I don't know. It's just nice to enjoy the people you're around. As players, though, like, they're amazing. Like, I think TJ's, like, probably the best. I played with AJ a little bit, so I mean, but TJ's, like, super solid and just kind of does everything, and he's just really great. And I'm honestly lucky that he's gonna be here for longer. I don't know what year he is, but it's cool that he's this good and is gonna stay playing. Same thing with Braun. Like, he's really solid, especially, like, I think we talked about it a few weeks ago. Like, his third man role, like, he's done super good to play that role, and I'm just, like, genuinely proud of both of them. Like, we were pretty good coming into the season, but, like, we got a lot better, especially, like, playing with each other, and I'm sure next year, like, it'll be just a continuation of the same, assuming they both stay playing. Like, they already know each other, so it's going to be, like, a good chemistry that's already built. But no, I'm just really excited to keep watching and see what they do and root for them. And
Yeah. One of our viewers wants to know what was your favorite time playing at UNI? So as we kind of reflect on uh, you being a senior, can you maybe reflect on a favorite moment?
Yeah, I think for me, it was a LAN event. My first LAN event here, I could not even tell, 2 years ago. Um, we got second. I was playing with AJ and my brother, so that was a ton of fun. We got second. We lost to Jakey and the twins, so like you can't really be too mad at that. Um, but that whole experience was super fun. Like I guess just like that was my first LAN event of anything, so it was really cool experience and just like getting to know people and hang out and getting having fun, being nervous playing the game, which like seems kind of silly, but um, there was a ton of fun. I mean, I've had a ton of fun literally every semester I have playing this. Like all the lands I've been to, all that stuff was super fun. This season has been a ton of fun overall. Like I'm so thankful, and yeah, I'm excited to play for third. It's my first time playing for third, so I mean, obviously, like I said earlier, would have been cool to play for first, but first time playing for third, that's better than I've ever done. So like I'm just kind of happy to have experienced this. Like it's super cool for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great experience that you had, and maybe talk about that third matchup, or I guess the third place matchup. Are you going to work on anything? Are you going to be in the lab a little bit more than usual, or is it just going to be another day in the life of Tonkin? It's like, oh, we're playing for third. It doesn't matter, no
Like,
problem.
I do obviously I care because I mean I'd rather get third than fourth, but I'm just gonna have fun with it. It's going to be my last game, at least in NECC. So like, I'm gonna have fun with it, and I don't know. I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be hopefully a good send off, regardless. Like win or lose. Again, like I said earlier, I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of Brewer as a coach. He's grown a ton. Um, like I just think all of us as a group have been. It's been really great to work this year. Like I said, it's been fun to like. I don't ever dread like having to go and practice Rocket League and like. I was like, oh, I get to play with my friends and have fun. Like, and I'm super glad that's the kind of like environment that we built. And for the third place game, I'm just gonna go out there, have fun, play the game we play. Hopefully we win. If not, oh well. If we do, that's third place, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, big shout out to you. I remember as I've kind of broadcasted some of your games, you've always been there. You've had a lot of fun, and
Yes,
it's,
sir.
it's one more. You got one more in the tank. Do you think,
Yes,
Tonkin?
sir. I hope so. I hope so. I'm not. I'm kind of old, but like I'm not that old yet. I still got a little bit of gas left.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So as we kind of close up, is there um, anything else you want to add? I'm sure we'll get to interview you one more time, maybe, but is there anything else that you want to kind of reflect on, or I don't know, kind of
Yeah.
talk about?
I'm just super thankful to everybody that has taken the time to watch and support. I know I have a lot of family and friends that support me, which is super cool. Um, like my parents have watched our lands. My brother might be watching right now. It's just super cool. I don't want to get emotional because it sounds, I don't know, it kind of silly, but um, just having people that support something like esports is super cool, and supporting me is super cool. And I'm really thankful for all those people. I'm thankful for my teammates. Thankful for Jake. He's the one who actually got me to play at a like student org fair. Like when I first got here, it's like, oh, do you have Rocket League? And he was like, yeah, we have Rocket League. And I was like, I'm playing then. And I'm just super thankful to literally every teammate I've ever had, all the people that have come to the lands, all the people that have watched the lands. I'm super thankful. Like it's super cool to see. I'd never thought that I would, play a video game at any sort of like actual competitive capacity. So I don't know. It's just super cool. I'm super thankful. And yeah, I'm really thankful for Panther Esports as a whole. I'm thankful for you guys, production, casting,
Sorry.
for a second. But like without you guys, like genuinely, it's not possible. Like without Panther Esports, it's not possible. Like I would not be doing what I'm doing, which is like super cool. And I'm kind of yapping, but I'm just really thankful for everybody, like in the whole process. And yeah, that's really it. Hopefully we win. Watch next Thursday, hopefully, or whenever the game is.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully we get a win.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, not the circumstances that you wanted to end up for today. But hey, you're playing for third, which is actually quite a lot for you and I.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
go ahead, get some rest, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again, Tonkin.
Thank you.
All right, that'll go ahead and do it for today's matchup. UNI falling 4-3 against University of St. Mary. Next week, UNI will play against either Missouri State or Arkansas State for a podium matchup. For Igneous in production, my name is Hunter, and thank you for joining us today for some UNI Rocket League. Able to bounce back, push it to a Game 7, and really proud of these boys overcoming adversity and resilience in this game. We'll see you next week, and like always, go Cats.